Pashaparo, Wide at 7. Thank you for tuning the replay. So, lots going on today. Very exciting day. 1 second here. So, all right. So, Pashaparo, Wide at 7. Thank you for tuning the replay. We're here with Big Board Pep for my peeps. Man, I know you saw that crisp. I know you saw that edit. I know you saw Intella, whatever it is, NTLA. I know you was watching them. I hope you was in them because I wasn't in them from the start. I got a little pickings from it. But I had to stick to my plan. You know what I mean? This was a great test for me today to just stick to the plan. I set the plan up last week. We talked about it over the weekend. We talked about it Friday. I don't know if you didn't watch it. Watch the last 2 videos. Get up to speed because I'm just not real confident in these next 2 weeks for some reason. I don't know. I mean, overall, right? That's what I was saying. So we had the announcement. Actually, it wasn't an announcement. It was more like a sound bite. You know what I mean? Like a clip, like a quote from ARC, and it was something that was already said before, and I don't know, the world just took it and ran with it. Like the thing, Crisp and Edit, I think Edit was up like 40%, like $30 a share. So I hope you got a part of that. Like I said, I got a little bit of it. I just didn't want to be distracted with what I was doing because what I want you to start off with today is a little different. I want to show you this real quick. I know this is old, but I want you to think about something because what we're dealing with here for the new and old, you know what I mean, is what's called FOMO, fear of missing out. And I'm taking days like this as an exercise because what's ultimately more important is, to me right now, is sticking to the plan. You see what I mean? When you sit down and you strategize and you come up with what your play gonna be, and just stick to that play. Just put your blinders on and work that play until you're through with that play. And then if there's time left, entertain other things. But sometimes by the time you work your play and then go look at something else, it's a mess, right? So you jump in and then you run the risk of, by the time you jump in, it's over and it's starting to come down now. And you take an L on that. You know what I mean? So do you want to hit the home run? This is what you got to do. You got to figure out, what's your game plan? Like what kind of player are you? You know what I'm saying? Are you long term or are you short term? Okay. Are you focused on what you got to do first, or are you just looking for anything moving? Or are you mixing all that up and you have like, this is the plan for the day. This is the plan. Like some days I don't have a real target. So I'm looking for that action and I'm looking to respond quick. Some days I got targets and I'm really focused on my targets and I'm learning how to actually keep that discipline. So what I was telling you last week is it's a lot of reasons why the market is really a lot more unstable right now than it may even be letting us know. So I didn't want to be caught out there. And I'm going to show you how this works, right? I'm going to show you how this works because One, you got to know this. You got to look at this, right? So the title, I know the headline says America's stock market is shrinking, and it's from 2015. But what I wanted you to see was this right here. The number of publicly listed U.S. stocks peaked at around 7,562 during, 1998. For those that aren't baseball fans, right? I guess it's baseball. If it ain't, let me know in the comments. So according to the ... total market index, today there are just 3,000. And listen to how they say it. Today there are just 3,812. Now, that number is treachery. You know what I'm saying? First of all, we can't really be like too crazy over panic because it was over 7,500. I mean, that was before the .com bubble, which, it was a spike there. Everything was going up. So everybody was starting a company and taking it public. It was a big thing. So now the question is, but they weren't worth a lot. So now you have consolidation over the years, and it's down to what they're gonna say. Oh, there's just 3,812. So what I wanted you to know from this, what I wanted you to gain from this part here, this moment right here, is this. You're gonna see stocks that make the news. And if you notice, you probably see the same 5 or 10 stocks talked about over and over again. It's 5,000 YouTubers out there right now making crazy views, they might be monetized, whatever, just from saying Neo. And that's all they talk about every day. Neo going to 400. Okay, it's going to 400. Possibly 5 years from now, maybe 2 years, but not tomorrow. But every day, you see what I'm saying? So when you don't fall into the limitation. This is like cable. Like, you remember the cable? I don't know what TV's like now, but I remember back in the day when we first had not the red number boxes with the lights with the red numbers on them, not those black boxes, but when you had the big wide digital, when digital was like supposedly like a new thing, and you had those digital cable boxes and you had like 6,000 channels, right? And you paid your crazy ass subscription fee for those 6,000 channels, and you watch the same 10 channels all month. Actually, on those 10 channels, you probably watch 8 shows out of 6,000 channels. With 5 billion shows, you focused on 8 for a year, right? So that's a gift and a curse, right? Because if you do that in the stock market, you're going to limit yourself to only being able to play those 10 positions. And as they move in and out of your zone of actual beneficial play, you will and won't be able to take advantage of them. Right? So when you talk about the fear of missing out, your focus on having fear of missing out is causing you to miss out on something else as well. Like the other 3,800 stocks that you could be figuring out what's going on with them, So think about that. 3,812 doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot more than the 50 that you probably actually researched in the last year. And that might be an overstatement, but that's okay. Like, I probably find 25 to 40 new stocks a week. Granted, 85% of them I probably won't look at again until who knows when, but they're out there. And that's how I come up with these things. So, and there's various ways to find them, and that's important. So don't get tunnel vision and just lock in on the same 5 or 10 stocks, because then everybody starts talking about the same 5 or 10 stocks, And that's good for me because I'm playing the other stocks. So on a day like today, I was like, damn, cause see, I was in edit, I was in crisp, and they just weren't doing it for me. Like I remember telling y'all about crisp. See? Go back to the 7th. This was the card on the 7th. The P.E.P closed. Now look, watch this. The P.E.P closed on the 7th at 149.45. I'm gonna show you how to do this, right? I'm gonna show you how to, and what I mean is I'm gonna show you how to start learning to control your fear of missing out. Don't go jumping in there. You might have jumped in it today and caught it, and maybe you up. That's good. You know, be careful because I don't know that this is gonna hold. And I'll get into that in a second. So, but a lot more times, what I see happen is I pace myself, and I realize, okay, I would have clicked the button here. I would have bought in here, and then you watch it, and like literally seconds later, bloop, 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 it's down. You see what I'm saying? And when I first started, that happened to me a few times. You know what I mean? Because you're all excited, like, oh, it's going up, let me get in. And then you even if you go up a little bit after that, and then and now you negative, at least for that play. See, and if you keep making plays that is gonna wind up being negative more than not. So that means you're gonna be negative overall. You know what I'm saying? You would have to have really huge gains when you get one to make up for all the little negatives. So instead of what I'm learning to do is instead of always taking the home run, sometimes you just gotta take those base hits. It might be the perfect pitch for you to send it, but just take the base hit because that's the plan. You just wanted to get 2 more runners on base because you got a home run slugger coming up that can knock any ball out the park and have a grand slam. You see what I'm saying? You got 2 outs. What you gonna do? You see what I mean? So this was back on the 7th. Now look at the similarities here. The P.E.P closed, the card says, at 149.45. Right? I said I offered 157 at the time as a resolve. And this is when it first broke in. First went into the yellow region, hit the peak, came back down. Now we back in the green, right on that resistance. So I said profit lock basically anything over 160. Right? No FOMO. I said I won't be back in this tomorrow. Like I'm telling you, look, it doesn't have enough pep above 149. This is what I told you on the 7th. Now look at this. Look at what it did for 2 weeks. If ARK never makes that comment today, where's Crisp at right now? So this is the benefit of when you get to the point where you can do this full time and you're not making plans because you're at work and you gotta, have the right plan because you know you're not gonna be watching like you want to be. You might miss stuff like this, but it's okay because your plan worked and you still hit your goal of $200 to $300 a day, right? So you might have came up another. This $100 at the time $150 share stock. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you grab up 10 of them. Maybe you grab up 100 of them. If you grab up 10, then that's $200 profit, right? So in reality, if your strategy is making you $200 to $300 a day, this whole crazy insane spike is just gonna be what you make tomorrow. No worries. You ain't missed a damn thing. Now, if you chase this and you get in at the wrong time or at a different stock, you've seen it before, and it drops, and now you're down 5 days work. You see? So what are you after? Are you after consistency, Are you after the excitement, the adventure? Because this was a adventurous play today, unless you were already in the stock. Now me, I probably would have still been in the stock, but I've been withdrawing because I think we're going to see some turbulence, and I'd rather have 95% of mines out making plays with 5%, and then by the time the end of the day come, only have 1 or 2% in on a certain thing, a small positions on certain things just to catch it in the AM. Because that way, if you go to sleep and something crazy happen, right? You okay. Like this. UK stocks and pound, which is, I guess, their currency, tumble as Europe shuts borders. This literally happened overnight. And this is why I've been talking to people. I've been telling them, like, yeah, I wouldn't be in that stock right now because it's a stock that's really heavily influenced by COVID or the pandemic or situations that revolve around the pandemic like this. So when I saw this first thing in the AM, I felt good because I was like, "Yep, that's why I did what I did last week, and pulled a lot of significant stuff out, left my certain plays that I'm focused on. I'm focused on them. Once I complete the play, I'm done with that. Pull that out. Maybe depending on what it do, I'll buy back in. But I'm focused on that one play. So I had two that I was focused on today. That was my RMG and my LAZR. I had some other stuff, some filler stuff in the background I had out there. I sold all that first thing because to me, this is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for last week. This is what I've been looking for ever since the vaccine came out, really. Because once that came out and your stocks didn't surge after that, because they already had the money, they already had the profits built into the price at that point in time. But once it didn't really, I don't know about y'all. Are you hearing a lot about it? I don't know. So to me, I was looking for that next step with the situation. And then literally like the same day or the next day, it was announced, oh, we got this mutated strain. So ever since then, I've been like, okay, yep, checked it off the list. That's what I was expecting. Going to this plan right here is for that. I already had the plan in motion or at least written up. Here's what we're going to execute now. Operation, get the fuck out. Right? So that's what's been going on. And then you focus on your plays. Because now if you got, see, a lot of people got caught in March, right? Remember that? See this drop here? Right? A lot of people wasn't expecting that. Things collapsed by like 80%. Those that don't know their history doing to repeat it. So I'm thinking, I'm not hoping that it happens, but in case it does happen, if you 95% out and maybe only a couple of what you working with is even affected by it, or maybe none of what you actually playing on that day or that period of time is affected by it because, it's not driven by the pandemic, then now you're kind of like protected, right? So when that thing hits rock bottom and other people, other investors, this is what we talking about today. We talking about strategy. All right. So, and other people are out 80% and the stocks are down to 20% of what they were worth. You know what? I'll go ahead, grab that $20 a share. Go ahead and take that. Go ahead. You go ahead and do that. Load up. Right? I'm going to keep making my small plays, my base hits. And when this happens again, if this happens again, oh, that's when we going in. All right? And if not, cool, you didn't miss nothing. This moves every day. There's 3,000, how much we say? 812 stocks. Something's moving every day for you. So right now, for the end of the month, into like seeing how Q121 plays out, I would be a little reserved. That's me though. Because if this is happening in Europe, how long before, right? Matter of fact, hold on. Cause they were talking about how I ain't gonna look up the article yourself. They got a video right here, right? And it was telling you about how, they're concerned about it spreading because of the holidays. People close to me know we was talking about this in June. Like, you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Stocks to me is gambling for the conspiracy theorists. They were laughing at me in June and May when I was like, yeah, nah, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna do this and then that, and then everything's gonna see and get better. And then watch November. I said November though. I'll give you that. I said November. We'll be back on a more restricted lockdown and and they'll blame it on the holidays and all this stuff and boom, and then right. This is why you see me not maybe sounding like some other people. I'm not going to tell you go out there and load up right now. I'm going to tell you be careful. Okay? So when you see me saying to you stuff like, yo, make a plan, figure out how to just, no matter what the conditions of the market, hit your goal. If you make your plan, I want to do $500 a day. I want to do between $100 and $500 a day. I want to do between $400 and $1,000 a day, whatever it is for you. Make your plan and practice hitting that mark, hitting that goal, no matter what's going on that day in the market. That's what I want big board peeps to be working on over the next couple of weeks. Because those spikes ain't always guaranteed. And once we play this out right, the ones that you're making plays on will be spikes. Like I just showed you, Dare. We just caught 40% on Dare last week. That's nothing to us. Now, matter of fact, here's the difference, right? They said $146 a share, $148 a share. Dare, I was getting you in Dare at $1.15 a share. You bought 100 of them. You bought 400 of them. Right? And you made your $200 off of $500. If you had $500 worth of crisp, you're probably looking at $50. You see what I'm saying? So you got to look at what's your plan, what's your strategy, what's your game, because with that bigger number, it's a lot more risk. So if we go back to that card, I was in crisp and it went up. I got a little money and it came down and it went up, and I was like, yo, this is like boring, right? Where's the energy? So here it is. But when it came out, I was in something else. Let's take a look at what we were actually in today. So this is what, and thank you. I know that might have been long for some, but I hope it was value added for others. And as long as some found value with it, the rest of the group, the rest of the people watching, we're gonna need to have patience because everybody ain't on the same level, and we're gonna grow together because that's what it takes. So thank you for your patience. If I had patience, I might have saw 20 plus $40 a share today. You know, but that's, when you sitting on those, when you got all that, look, that's one last thing. So that would have took sitting in there watching it go up and down, go nowhere. It's still, what I was trying to show you was that it closed on the 7th at 49.45, and it opened on the 21st at 48.16. It was exactly in the same spot 2 weeks later. You see what I'm saying? So it's a gift and a curse, right? You would have had to have all that money tied up for 2 whole weeks, sitting there waiting, hoping, watching it go up and down. Or you could have been playing the ups and getting the downs. But I mean, you could make that same money on something that takes a lot less to get into. So think about it. I don't know what your budget is. So here we go. Go on to RMG. This was from yesterday, right? We were talking about the trajectory should get us to $25 by end of month, EOM. Well, we hit $25 today for the high, actually $25.21 the next day, and it closed at $23.90. So it was a great in and out day because it actually, it opened at 21.47, so like 21.50. I think I got out when it peaked at like 24 off some position, got back in the 22s, you know what I mean? Climbed back up to 25, said, okay, locked out some more profit, reduced the position. It came back down, and then it kind of went flat for the rest of the day a little bit. So I added a little bit more there at the tail end, just a little bit, like 50 shares or so, nothing major, to just add to what I had to start off tomorrow, see how it goes, right? So it's up 90 cent in the after hours. So we want to see how it moves in the AM, and if it goes in the right direction, we're going to throw some more on top of that, ride it up, lock in the profit, and move with it like that. That's what I'm playing right now. I'm playing RMG. We told you. You know what I mean? My vote's in. I voted. I ain't going to tell you how I voted. My vote's in. The meeting's going to be the 28th. So let's see if there's some sort of build up to this announcement and this merger. Okay. All right. So the next one was LAZR, Luminar. You know what I mean? I brought this to you when it was GHMI. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's not the point. What the point is that yesterday I was saying we should see if it keeps its footing above where it was at the time, which was $29, right on that resistance. We should see it break the $35 next week. So here we are, 24 hours later, bam, it closed at $35.15, a dime shy from the high, and after hours it's down 0.7, 70 cents at $34.39. So I think that makes for a better buy in the AM, because this has a nice trajectory. The question is, it needs to find and hold 34.92. So in the post hours and the after hours, it dropped a little bit below that. It's at 34.35, right? But I'm thinking if it can get some pep in the AM and get over that into that little whatever you want to call it, the grayish bluish area. I put some blue over top of the yellow, so purple, whatever you want to make it, right? So if it can actually sit on top of that line, that's gonna be awesome, because the next stop should be between 38.02 and 42.48, which places 40 right in the middle, right? So we're at 34 change. Even if we get a little dip down in the AM, boom, 33s, maybe 32 even, get a good buy and get a good purchase, and then it goes to 40. You're looking at $6 to $8 a share right there. But you got, this is entertainment purposes only. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a professional. I'm not telling you to buy this. I'm just asking you to click the like button and hit subscribe for your entertainment purposes. Maybe share it a couple times, like 5 times a day, 10 times a week. Not too much. All right, so this looks good. It's definitely going back towards $38. So I think you're gonna at least see in the next day or so a good another $4 out of this a share. play it how you play it. If you just sitting in it hoping that it goes up forever, cool. If you sticking and moving, then do what you do. So I think we're gonna see 38. We could go as high as 42 or better, and 40 is right in the middle. So that's a good midpoint that I think we could see by the 24th. Okay. So keep in mind what we talked about today. I think that's very important, especially right now. What's your risk? Weigh your risk. Like if you know what I mean, weigh your risk. I don't keep a whole bunch of money or a whole bunch of motion or ammunition. I don't keep a whole bunch of stuff in something that's not moving. Like it's moving, but it's not going nowhere. So if you had 5 G's in this, you would have had 5 G's just sitting there recycling the same up and down for 2 weeks. And then you would have maybe made some money at the end of that, but look at what you could have made in those 2 weeks. You wouldn't even be worried about this little spike here. This would be nothing to you. It would be a nice added bonus if you caught it, but otherwise, that's all it is. So think about this. Again, this is pretty important. If you look at the significance of it, there's 3,812 stocks as of 2015. There might be some more now. There might be some less. Also, what it does say in this article, if you want to look at this or Google that or find something, an article similar to this yourself, it was saying how there's less of them, but they're worth more now, which is that inflation, deflation, I don't know, currency devalue, well, whatever. So there's less stocks, but they're worth more. So look into them. You know what I mean? When you see $150 stock, some days I went from last month, I went from saying, I don't really like 3-digit stocks. Now you see me talking to you about $350 stocks. Why? Because I can get 10 of them. I know they're going to go up $10 sometime at the right moment. That's an easy $100 start to the day. Boom. If your goal's $300, you are a third of the way there by 9:45. You see what I'm saying? Boom, you almost done. So what are you playing for? I think to every beginner or to anybody getting started, I don't think your question should be what stock should I get in or what this. I think your question should be what do I wish to accomplish? What do I want this? What purpose do I want this to serve for me? You see what I'm saying? The chances of you putting some money in a stock today and it going 10,000x and you being able to retire next week, that's like the lottery. Are you trying to play? Is this your lotto? Is this your scratch ticket? Okay, then play the scratch tickets with it. Go ahead and pick your Powerball numbers and keep your fingers crossed. I understand that. If you're looking to just put money in and sit back for 10 years and gain 30%, cool. Okay, I'm trying to gain 30% in a week. You see what I mean? So in a month, you know what I'm saying? I'm up 40%. It doesn't matter. So get it in a month. Break it down into a month. And then once you get your numbers down to a month, get it down to a week. Then you can get it down to a day. Figure out what you want to do. Find what your goal is. And then once you find out what your goal is, because maybe you're not trying to do this so that you don't have to go to work no more. Maybe you're just looking to build a little extra on your retirement 30 years from now. Maybe that's what you're trying to do. That's all good. That's all good. But whatever it is for you, find what you wanted to do, break it down, formulate a plan, and then figure out how you can satisfy that plan on a daily basis, regardless of what's going on in the market. Because if you wake up tomorrow, right, and the market did a march on you, are you going to be able to sustain your performance? And I'll tell you right now, if you locked in on, if all you know is 5 stocks, chances are you're not going to be able to do it. You see what I'm saying? If you locked in on 10 stocks, you're probably not going to be able to keep that same performance. It's going to be hard. You got to, before you can diversify your portfolio, you got to diversify your minds. So I'm Pasha Pyro. It's YN7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. Big board. Pep for my peeps. Now y'all be careful out there. I just told you what's up. Go make that money.